It is Thursday. It is the big thing, and we are here. Man, we're excited to do a good show. We have a good show coming up. I hope so. It's going to be a good show. Maybe a little presumptuous. I don't think so. Roxy's here, so she's going to give us all the TV picks. I'm obsessed with Dark, and I wonder if Roxy has watched any of it. We'll find that out. I bet the answer is no. So Indiana Jones, not only is there a big movie coming out, apparently there's going to be a TV show. That's interesting. I didn't know about that. And Jeff Snyder is going to apparently say how it on his podcast with Roka, going to tell us how they tie in the movie and the TV show. I'm not sure. Avatar, more Avatar news. James Cameron says why it's so long. That's what she said. Then Millie Bobby Brown wants to play Britney Spears. John Wick showing up in another movie that's not John Wick. So I think Roxy and I are the only people here who have seen Black Panther. We'll talk a little bit about that. And Dragon's Lair, not the video game in the back here, but the movie. The movie with Ryan Reynolds apparently there's an update. So all that and more on today's show. And more. We'll talk a little bit about Andor. How you like that? It's about Mrs. Garrett. We didn't tell Roxy about Mrs. Garrett because there's no way she knows what the hell we're talking about. But we will play that clip for anybody who missed out. Because how dare you? Probably one of the best moments since Peg Boys and Santa. Okay, so what else do we do? I'm wearing one today. I got this merch from TeePublic, and I have a Schmodown vintage. You're going to see Roxy's got something on. You should have something on. Big thing, capes and cows.
The Top Gun guy?
The Top Gun guy, Sith Council. Sith Council is the one is selling the most right now. Shocking. I know. Shocking. Sith Council is, but big thing has been up there for a little bit. Anyway, make sure you check that out. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. Make sure you check that out. All right, everybody, let's do it. It is the big thing. It's myself. It is Roxy. It is Brett. It's the big thing. Let's do it. I'm ready. Are you ready? Cool. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Thursday. And I forgot to mention, not only do we have all those stories and more, what I talked about, Brett did his first out of the theater reaction. It's on the channel for the Fabelmans. Roxy was there to see it with him. Roxy, did Brett really embarrass you?
It was a little embarrassing.
And there he is.
It was a full theater. I mean,
Was it full?
There was not an empty seat. I mean, it was full.
Good. I'm happy to hear that. That is, of course, the Steven Spielberg movie. The new one is loosely based on his life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say influenced by.
Influenced by. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who do you think was the standout in the movie, Rox? I saw Brett's. I got to tell you, Brett, because you kept fishing for compliments last night on the texting, and I wasn't going to do it on text. I was going to do it on the show. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Great job. He was very nervous going in to do his first because what happened was I was supposed to go see the movie. Very excited to see the movie. It was one of my most anticipated ones of the year because I love Spielberg. My wife just has not been feeling good lately, and
Daddy duty.
yeah, I did the kids. I had to take care of the kids last night. And there was just no way I could have left her on her own. She just wouldn't be able to do it last night. So I was like, okay, Brett, it's on you. And he said, all right, yeah, I'll do it. And he did a great out of the theater reaction. He's going to do his own single review on the channel, which will be wonderful. But yeah, so you dug it?
Oh, so good. I'm curious. I feel like this is one of those where the critic score is going to be higher than the audience score. So
why is that?
Because it's definitely for artists.
It's more personal.
It's personal. It's not pretentious, but I could see where somebody would think it's prestige, drama. It's very long, and it's a slow burn.
Great music, right?
Yeah, I thought the
Oh, so
it was excellent.
Yeah.
The
well, Michelle Williams is this
Singer.
isn't a spoiler. Yeah, she's a singer and a pianist, and some of the moments of her at the piano are. Don't say penis.
I didn't. You just did.
when you say I didn't do it, you really did it.
Kind of did it.
Yeah, you kind of did
Kinda
it.
did
It was. I think that right now for me it goes Marcel the Shell is my number one.
Okay, still haven't seen that one.
Top Gun is my number 2.
Interesting.
And this is my number 3.
Wow.
So this,
That much.
I think this broke my top 3.
Wow.
It was so. like, you know, when you walk out of the movie theater and for 5 hours you can't stop fucking thinking
It's
about
that
it.
one.
Yeah, and I was
You didn't
actually
like West
annoyed.
Side Story, right?
No, I liked it.
You did. Okay.
I didn't. I liked the original better. It didn't blow me away, but I thought it was very well done.
See, I think these are the types of movies. This is why I was so excited to see this movie. I actually loved his version of West Side Story. Loved it.
He did a great job.
Way more than I thought I would, because it's these stories that he does that you could tell are very personal to him. Whether it's West Side Story, a movie like this, any of these, I don't know, the movies that he's doing lately, whether it's The Post, those are the movies that I think he's just excelling at more as he, as he's done all these other big blockbuster stuff.
Yeah, The Post was it was still very good, but it wasn't my favorite of his stuff.
Sure.
But
British Spies, probably.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But I thought that this was the best Spielberg movie we've seen in a long time.
I love to hear that. I'm excited to see it. I was actually very bummed that I didn't get a chance to see it last night, but
I was bummed you weren't sitting with us. Like, it just felt like it would have been
up my alley.
Yeah.
She would have felt more
definitely.
comfortable not being
with you.
alone with me.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what
Yeah, that's what I am trying to say. No, that's definitely not. And the other thing about this movie is that it's extremely Jewish, which was really cool.
That was the original title of the movie.
Yeah, extremely
It's like
Jewish.
Extremely Jewish.
a Spielberg story.
What's
Yes.
that? The movie Extremely Close,
Yeah, right. Whatever it
Rotten,
was,
whatever.
yeah.
No, I think that's a serial killer movie. Okay, Rox. This one, Extremely Jewish, so cool. Like, that we have Hanukkah sequences in it. They are speaking at times, like using dropping different Yiddish words. They don't shy away from the fact that, like, he's growing up in a time period where being Jewish is very difficult.
Right after World War II, right?
Yeah, it's in the 50s, so about 6 years. I think it was in 52.
52 was
Okay.
6 years, yeah.
So-
40.
Well,
it ended in
52
45,
was-
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
7 years.
it started in 52, but then it went to 53, 50, and
it
then a
was
little later.
Yeah.
So 50s, late 50s even. But it was so well done, and I was like, it's interesting that he had the forefront to talk about some of the things that are just really relevant today. Obviously, we don't go that deep into it on this show, but you have to be
course.
living under a
Of
rock to
course.
not see the anti-Semitism that's going on in the world. So to like have him address it head on, and also I feel like people love him,
Yeah.
and it's important for people to love somebody and then realize they're Jewish and then think
Right,
like,
the beloved voice
yeah.
kind of talking about, oh, yeah.
And then it's like, oh, actually,
Even
I
though
know
his
that
name's
Jew. I like
Spielberg.
that Jew.
But
Totally.
I agree with you. I'm just saying.
Wait, Spielberg?
Hold on a second. That ain't Italian?
But here it's Fabelman.
Yeah.
So,
Got it. Oh,
yeah.
so that's
That's how
hence,
they
hence the name
Yeah.
of the movie, The Fabelmans.
Yeah,
I understand.
I think you're gonna like it. I think
sure
that
I will.
most people, if you hang in, if you're down for the ride, I think you're
Yeah.
gonna like it too. It pays off by the end.
I love hearing that. All right, so look,
It was it was so emotional. There were moments where I almost came over and gave Roxy one of these, but I was like, "Oh no, you're not my wife." Like, I almost gave her the little
It's
knee.
okay.
Yeah,
Dude, we
'cause-
we had like a heart to heart in the car afterwards
Yeah.
about like our lives and how did we get here. You know, it was one of
Yeah.
those movies where you're like,
it just
am I
hit-
doing this right?
Was this before or after Brett ate shit by falling into the mud?
It was after. It was after. I'm so upset I didn't see that. How's your elbow?
It's fine. Yeah.
So tell the audience what happened last night.
Well, Roxy's like, I'm almost there. So I'm like,
It's raining hard in Los Angeles
Yeah.
the last couple days.
I'm like, we better get out there. And I come out through the gate, and the car's parked on the driveway part, and I come around the corner. I don't know why I'm going so fast.
You're moving fast.
Yeah,
That was your
and
kiss of
I
death.
just slipped on
was
this
it?
mud and kind of went forward. Glasses fly off into the distance, and I hit my elbow on my
it's like
body.
Ralphie in the Christmas
Oh, it was
Story.
so bad.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking around for my glasses
Yeah, like Ralphie.
without and forgetting that I have a flashlight.
Did you make up a lie about it? Had the icicle hit you in the head?
He gets in the car and I was like, "Sup, Brett?" Because I didn't see shit.
Yeah.
He's like, "You see what I just did?"
Oh, so it had just happened
Yeah.
right before. Well, I know exactly where it was, right by the gate,
Oh.
right? Yeah, so there's this little... I have caught myself on that very place maybe 7 times. Have you guys seen... It's a TikTok video or Instagram, I don't know. The one guy who slips on the ice, but he doesn't fall for like 20
Just keeps-
seconds.
yeah.
Have you seen this?
No.
It's hilarious. Like, he walks out and he's just like, hey, oh, and then he's like, oh, wait a minute. And,
He's doing it as a bit, or
no, he's
okay.
legit on ice. You can see his feet. And he's holding himself.
Yeah.
His friend's just holding. The friend is the star of the video because he never took it off, and he just has him. And the guy's just like this, and he's trying so hard, and he finally just eats shit and he falls. But it's it's like an old like Looney Tunes animated thing. It was hilarious.
People are not used to rain or ice or anything of the sort out here. Oh my God. And the roads get so slippery and slow and it's scary. Do you get that flash flood warning yesterday?
I did.
Wait, did you even see that that's right when I picked you up?
Yeah, it was right.
Oh, was it flash flood?
We get a flash flood warning.
Life threatening.
It says flash flood warning. Do not leave your house. Do not get in your vehicle.
In your area.
And I'm like, I'm here, Brett.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Brett's like covered in mud.
Oh no, it
It's
was
like Rambo and Rambo 2.
It was. I was expecting her to be in the car, like me to look up and just see Roxy laughing because of like
Yeah,
I saw
sure.
headlights.
Look, and the problem is that at your age, our age, you can't fall like that.
No, you can't.
You only got about another 5 years before you can fall like that, and then your hips are gonna start.
No, it
going
was
out.
funny. He was like, my elbow. I was like, your elbow?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, my elbow.
Did you have snacks to make you feel better at the theater?
Well,
yeah.
Roxy
I know
has
you did.
a
You got the
routine,
pretzels. She has
man.
pretzels.
Yeah.
I know
Well,
Roxy's
let's go through the friend date.
You go upstairs now. You tell me.
Roxy
in a second.
shows up. Oh, go.
I gotta ask
Okay.
you because I know last time I think it was the Top Gun. It was either Top Gun or whatever it was. You were visibly upset that you didn't realize that you had to go to the upstairs. I think to get the pretzels. Did you do it this time, or was it a screening upstairs? It was
downstairs to get the
Is
pretzels.
that
I
what
didn't
it
know
is?
they were there, and they told me they were out, but they didn't say they were downstairs. And
Got
then
it.
I found out through Andrew Guy that they had the pretzels downstairs after the movie, so I
told
got
you
them
that.
after the movie.
I told
Oh, you told me?
Son of a bitch.
Well, maybe he got them. Maybe you
maybe
told me, and
that's
then
what
I
it was.
saw them
That's
with
what
him
it
or
was,
something.
yes.
Yeah, that was brutal. No, they have them back in full swing. And they had them at AMC in Burbank. They have them now AMC
No, the best.
all over.
I do
They're all
nacho
over the
cheese.
place.
You do cinnamon, right?
Oh yeah, cinnamon sugar.
I see a
But-
lot of people love that cinnamon sugar shit.
But they fucked them up last
yeah.
night.
What happened?
I'm sorry.
Tell me about
no,
it.
they were bad. It was worth
It was
it was
not
worth
good.
my F-bomb.
Oh, this is
it
a
was
big
like-
thing. You can. Like, that's what people don't. Really, I mean, you got to wait till the bed. I show you. Wait till the
I know,
bed.
but sometimes people will write in the comments like, she's so vulgar, and I'm like, you know what? Suck my dick.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Roxy, you can't say that on this show. Back.
I'm just waiting for when I walk out, somebody
Yeah.
starts screaming at me.
We got Spielberg coming in 5 minutes. You're cussing like a trucker.
Okay, so what?
Go ahead. Finish.
me knowing you guys say that, I go better with the bits now, knowing I have to go with all of the
course,
bits.
you have
So
to.
what I just did was okay.
Okay.
Okay, really good.
Anywho.
They were trash this time. I ate them all, but they were like hard as
not
a
good.
rock, and then chewy. Some were chewy. Some were hard as a rock.
not good.
So I
I
did
think
the
the
only
first
thing.
couple of them you enjoyed
good.
it, and then you go, here, try some, and I'm like, she's like, are you all right? I'm like,
Yeah, they like something happened where half the
Did you get a
batch was
refund?
not good. Nope, because I ate
Because
them
you
all.
ate them all.
Yeah,
Oh,
and,
smart.
and also what I started to do. This is disgusting, so I just
we
need
go.
you to be okay with me.
It's not gum in a coffee cup.
No, I'm
Drink
not
it.
Alice.
Okay.
I started to use them as spoons for the icing.
Oh,
So I would just take the icing,
Okay.
eat the icing, put it down, take the icing.
This is all stupid stuff.
No, it's good.
No,
it's good content.
Carbon Health got some free advertising today. So what I was also what I do for if I go for the pretzel with the nacho cheese, right? But if I don't get the pretzel, I get the nachos with the nacho cheese, obviously. But what you do is, if you really want to slob it up, you get a popcorn, and then you take the cheese on the chip, and you take one or two kernels and you dip it in that.
This is all stupid stuff.
Yeah, this is all stupid stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you guys had a good time. Tell me about the. So
Well, no,
tell me about the
Roxy
date.
shows up dressed to the nines.
Oh.
As if to say, hey, if you had any funny business plan. No, I'm just kidding.
I was wearing I don't know if I've ever looked as atrocious as I looked last night.
It was
What
as
was
if
she
to say,
wearing?
like, if I know you're not a skeezy guy, but I'm gonna show you that there's no way, even if you were.
So I wore.
She looked great.
Here's
but
what
it was
had happened. I didn't have one speck of makeup on, and also I wore this big red sweatshirt.
Okay.
But it had a pocket, those front pockets. And for some reason, I had put like 45 pounds in that pocket. So I was just weighed down.
Well, you should have read this to him when you showed up. Read that on the air. Look at the audience and read that on the air.
Mike, who cheese Harry?
Can you say it again?
Mike, who cheese Harry? Mike, who cheese.
She had it like a pooch.
Are you 5?
She had a kangaroo pouch.
I spend too much time on TikTok now. I'm telling you.
You love that?
Yeah, because at least you caught it. They did it to these
Like
ladies.
that?
They did it to these ladies, and the ladies were just sitting there for like minutes, and the other guy's just sitting there. This one guy goes, "Hey, read this," and the two ladies, they must have read it. Roxy caught it within 2 seconds. They're reading it the whole time, and the guy on the other end of the couch, like if it's Brett right here, is just laughing his fucking ass off.
This is the one I make Grammy do, and she forgets it every time, which is great. Spell IHOP and then say Ness.
Spell it to it, Brett.
IHOP Ness.
Yep.
Keep going.
IHOP-ness.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's not nice.
And every time I do it to Grammy, she's like, just tell me to say penis. I would rather just say penis.
It's the same. The stupidest joke that you probably would really like
that
I've been doing, and I did it on Campy Show a little while ago. So just play along with me on this one. Did you hear about that actress that got stabbed?
No, what happened?
Reese.
Witherspoon?
No, with a knife. It's so stupid. Look, we got other things to talk about, though.
Is that TikTok also?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's a great app.
It's or Instagram or one of these videos, just sitting on the shitter watching all these videos. Before we move over, though, I do have to say this. And only, as Roxy knew when she sat down, she's like, it smells good in here. And you're damn right it smells good in here. I have been screaming to you people about Trade Coffee. It is, Roxy, how good does it smell in here today?
It smells excellent.
It's so good. And I'm getting a lot of comments now from people who are like, oh, you know what? I have been trying it. I tried it out, and it's really good. And they're like, I'm glad you told me about it. And keep putting it in the comments, please. Please let me know about it, because I let them know. And it is fantastic. We want them to stick around. So if you want to help the show and you want to help yourself and make your place smell wonderful and have great coffee, get Trade Coffee. So we have a new one coming out. Brett, we're almost wiped out in here.
Yeah, send more, please.
Yeah, they are. It's coming this week. And I'll be getting this for a while. If you love drinking coffee every morning, and who doesn't, you have to check out Trade Coffee. It's very easy to get the best coffee. It's delivered fresh from the finest local roasters around the country. So if you get your coffee normally from a grocery store and you're drinking the same coffee every day, try something new. Try something better. Try something with Trade Coffee. It's so easy to get fresh roast delivered to your doorsteps from local roasters around the country, and do it with Trade. It is a coffee subscription service that makes it so simple for you to discover new coffees and make your best cup of coffee at home. Whether you already know what you like or you're new to specialty coffee and you need some help, Trade makes it easy and it's convenient. So we've been, what's that one that, Brett, get that bag over there, the one that we've just been having recently. Would you know which one it was?
I forgot. Yeah, no, we tossed it.
Oh, we tossed it.
Yeah,
but either way, they've been sending some really good ones, and like the dark roast that just came recently, it smells so good in here. I can't even tell you. It's the last bit of it that we had today, and we are going to continue to just sing from the heavens about Trade. So if you are a coffee aficionado, you're just looking for something new, Trade is going to guarantee you're going to love your first bag, or they're going to send you a new one for free. So right now, Trade is offering our listeners a total of $30 off your subscription plus free shipping at drinktrade.com/bigthing. Drinktrade.com/bigthing. Get $30 off your subscription to the best coffees in the country. Once again, drinktrade.com/bigthing. And as I told you guys, I get it all the time. They said, well, can we, if I'm on Patreon, if I'm not on Patreon and I haven't bought a shirt, or I haven't, done this, how can I help the show? And I say the best way to help the show and help yourself is get one of the sponsors. And what better, if you're a coffee drinker, this is a must. It's a must. I love Trade Coffee. And not only if you tell me that you got it and if you like it, tell me what brand what flavor you got, and I want to let them know. Because that's the kind of stuff that I tried this, I tried that, and I really like this one. Maybe I like this one better than that one, and I'm going to send. I've been sending all of your comments to the sponsor, so do that. I want, and I really want to continue with these guys because they're fantastic.
Does it smell like vanilla, or what is the other hint that is
There's
in
like
there?
berries and honey, like
Honey or
the
something?
flavors have. Oh, it's so good.
It smells like you lit a candle.
It's so good. It really
like
it's
you on
delicious.
purpose made it this. The purpose of this was the smell.
You know what I did? I went back for a second, and because we had that little bit that I wanted to smell at the office today, but like the other day I did a rush on a Keurig, like a little coffee thing. You can't even compare it. it's just night and day how great trade is with the stuff. That's like the local roaster stuff and everything too. I was like on a rush and I had to do it, but never again. I'm gonna just stack up and make sure that I have a whole bunch of it.
And I convinced my wife to get it for her office.
Did you guys get it?
Yeah, she's
Awesome.
gonna get it sent to the, because I go, do you do coffee? And she says, yeah, I'm constantly buying coffee, you know, on Amazon and stuff.
You
I
have
said,
to.
get this.
Did you get the code?
Yeah. I
Good.
gave,
Good.
Come on.
All right, I'm just saying, $30 off.
Job security.
30.
Get him a
Well,
code.
speaking of job security, man, listen, you want to talk about Spielberg and what he did? He had started, and well, him and George Lucas, obviously, who wrote it, but they did the Indiana Jones. We're not getting to you just yet, sir. And where the hell is he? I got to get, there he is, Indiana Jones. There's some major news here that just kind of popped out of nowhere. I was kind of talking about Indiana Jones and that new trailer. Roxy, have you seen? I mean, I know that the trailer leaked, the Indiana Jones trailer. Did you see it? Good. I'm glad you didn't watch it. Wait until it actually comes out to watch it in full form. But it's
I'm not a leaked girl.
good.
No.
It's one of my most anticipated movies. It was already because of the Mangold. I did not like Crystal Skull at all. And as much as I love Spielberg, I was actually more excited when I heard Mangold was doing it, and that Spielberg decided he was going to do more stuff like Fabelmans and do those types of things.
When is this movie coming out?
Next June. So Disney and Lucasfilm are not done with the Indiana Jones IP after the 5th installment releases next year, as reports say that a live-action series is going to begin development for Disney+. According to Variety, no writer has been set, but the studio is keen on getting it off the ground as soon as possible. No plot details or even a general synopsis are available at the moment, though the report does point out that Disney wants to keep the franchise going after the release of the yet untitled Indiana Jones 5, which will be Harrison Ford's swan song as the iconic character. That could mean more movies in addition to the series where they are focused on a young Indy with a new actor or another character. Additionally, a video game was announced to be in development in early 2021, though we haven't had any news ever since. James Mangold is taking over the directing duties for the film after Steven Spielberg stepped down in early 2020. The film, which wrapped production earlier this year after multiple delays, will finally see the light of day on June 30th, 2023. The cast includes Ford, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Mads Mikkelsen, what a cast already, Thomas Kretschmann, Boyd Holbrook, Shawnette Renee Wilson, Antonio Banderas, and Toby Jones. What a cast. It'll be interesting to see what direction Disney and Lucasfilm take with this series. It's possible it might be a revival of the 1990s two-season live-action ABC series, The Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, which featured Sean Patrick Flannery as Indiana Jones. It's also interesting timing, given Ke Huy Quan's recent comeback to Hollywood, who of course played Short Round and just had a nice run with Everything Everywhere All at Once earlier this year, and Loki Season 2 next year. The Vietnamese actor had his first on-screen role in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and recently told the most endearing story about his reunion with Harrison Ford. Okay, so there's a good moment with Harrison, but anyway, let's get into this story because it's a massive one to me. This movie, the trailer alone looked so good. I love James Mangold. He's one of my favorite directors working today. Like everything he puts out, the Ford versus Ferrari, Logan, I mean, it list goes on and on and on. Copland, so many. The only one I didn't really like his was Night and Day.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I actually feel that you would like it. A lot of people like it. I don't like that movie, but who cares? Everything else.
I didn't see Copland either.
Oh, Copland's so good. But everything he puts out, I just like Kate and Leopold. I think he did as well.
That's funny.
Yeah, and he's done quite a few and different movies, and but he's getting better and better as he goes on. And I was so excited that he's taking over this movie, and the trailer cemented that for me. So it was shocking to me that this announcement of Indiana Jones, like well, they haven't announced it, but the leak or a report rather, that this is coming out. This report, Roxy, says that I don't even know if you remember it. I can't even imagine you were born yet. But when they did the Young Indiana Jones series, it was on ABC. It was way before streaming, obviously. And do you think it would be a revival of that?
No.
What do you think it will be?
First of all, I think that this is not shocking in terms of the fact that, of course, it makes sense to have an Indiana Jones TV show. Like this is one of the last remaining major franchises. So
especially for Lucasfilm, they only have Star Wars and
for sure, but not even just for Lucasfilm, period.
Yeah.
When we think about the big franchises that we have, think about what they are. I mean, obviously DC, Marvel, Star Wars, Star Trek,
right. Mission Impossible,
Harry Potter, but Indiana Jones, like the big
Fast and Furious.
I'm a fast girl.
Yeah.
I think that this is a no-brainer for them to figure out a TV show to do with Indiana Jones. I think that it will use the title Indiana Jones. It will use that as a launching pad. But I don't know that what they're going to do is anything correlated to any Indiana Jones thing that we've seen fully so far.
In the past, you mean?
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think that, Brett, probably if I was to guess, what they want to do, because it's Disney Plus, and you look at, and we can talk about Andor in a little bit. To me, last night, or 2 nights, I guess, rather, when this comes out, Andor's was the most cinematic, and out of all of the shows shot so far, it does not feel like a television show. It feels like a feature film, and it just shows that it's possible that even with it's got a big budget, but even with that budget, you can do stuff like that makes it feel like film. When you watch the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, it feels like a television show. It does.
It was the 90s.
It was the 90s.
Yeah.
So what I think they would do in a situation like this, because of exactly what Roxy said, they're going to want to continue this franchise going in the future. And Harrison has said, I'm done after this. You can continue on the same way that you do with James Bond, and there's a lot of these other characters that, Batman, that you can have another Indiana Jones. But the way that I had always suggested it, that I always thought in my head was, in a movie, what they were going to do is, the names were always being, the usual suspects were being thrown around, whether it was Bradley Cooper or Chris Pratt. And what I always thought an interesting movie would be, was similar to what they did in the episode of the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. Harrison was in this episode, and he was in there was this mission that he did in the beginning of the episode, and then he flashed back and you saw the younger actor. That's what I thought the movie would be, right? The new series on Disney Plus could be a launching pad for whoever this new Indiana Jones is.
For sure.
And then if we like this person, and this person delivers inside a television and on Disney Plus, then it's no-brainer. Then you can continue to do stories of Indiana Jones. Brett, do you think that's something that would happen, or do you think they're going to stick with just TV for now and see what happens?
I think they'll just CG Harrison. Didn't he once say that, like, there is no, like, when they asked him about it, didn't he say, like, there's no other
I think that was Han Solo.
No,
you're right. It was
Yeah.
it was because Chris Pratt's. You say that though. Is there a possibility that they do a Young Indiana Jones deepfake?
No.
No way.
No. I don't think he would like that, and he's too vocal for them to have him out there being like, this sucks, da-da-da. I think that I don't think so. What I was going to ask you, I'm not pushing any kind of fucking agenda. I see you guys. I'm not pushing an agenda. A lot of people have talked about it being a indie chica, a girl. What do you think? What are the chances?
I don't think it's the move to make right away.
I definitely don't either.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't think. It's
I like how you set it up.
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna pitch this. I don't think it's a good idea.
I think
I
that
think
she's
it-
going to
it
kick
would get
ass.
destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just don't think it's the move to make right away. I think that you can do it. I think that there's to me, the best female protagonist in the Indiana Jones series was Marion in the first one, in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh yeah.
Willie was too much the damsel in distress and kind of like just screaming at the top of her lungs. And I thought, and then I'm gonna hold it together, and it's not fair because she's a great actress. Allison Doody was in the third one, and I thought she was good, but she ultimately was the villain.
Yeah.
Right. Marion, and they brought it back in the fourth one, but that movie's just a mess. Marion was tough. Marion was smart. She was his equal in regards to being able to one up him all the time. You can do that and still have Indiana Jones and still do that in so many, because I mean that was 1980 or 81 when that movie came out. You can still do it. Phoebe Waller-Bridge is going to be in this movie, and Harrison sung her praises.
She also co-wrote it, right?
Did she?
I think
Okay.
so. I'm not positive on that. Somebody check me.
So I think that she might have a role inside of this, maybe.
Yeah, I just think that you would be setting somebody up for such failure.
Yes.
Like if you want a badass explorer woman show,
Don't attach it to
make
the
that.
Indiana, yeah. Don't attach it to the
Make
Indiana
Dora
Jones.
the Explorer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and don't say, well, it's,
Swiping.
Yeah.
right, you're carrying over the name of Indiana Jones to it. It's
You're just asking
You're
for-
right.
yeah.
You're essentially doing what you did to Moses Ingram, I think, in Obi-Wan.
Totally. You're setting it up in a way that's like, how are we gonna?
Yeah, because
uphill battle
yeah.
times a bajillion.
Moses Ingram is a really great actress. She really is, and I thought that she would.
I liked her a lot.
What I didn't love the character.
I know a lot.
I
of
didn't
people
like the
didn't.
portrayal of the character, and because I didn't think it was necessary to have that character when we wanted to focus on the struggle of what Obi-Wan was going through in this losing his friend and all that, and it didn't matter who it was. If you put another character in that position, you're setting, like you just said, you're setting them up for failure. You can make it a separate story. You can, like The Acolyte is a perfect example. I know nothing about that story. So when you have all these different characters that are coming in here, you're going, okay, that's going to be interesting. Teach me, tell me, right? As opposed to, well, I know that Obi-Wan's got to be going through stuff. Why am in the middle of this battle? Are we flashing to this silly back and forth with an Inquisitor and Uncle Owen who never knew how to fight and this and it was wrap it up. Let's get back to the fight. Same thing could happen with an Indiana Jones thing where you're just like, well, wait, that's not Indiana Jones. Like, it doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, man or woman,
Doesn't matter.
anything. Yeah,
Gotta be Indy.
those are some big shoes to fill, and I
Right.
think that, like you said, it's going to be, we'll test somebody out on this show, and maybe they'll continue, or maybe they go like, yeah, Harrison was Indiana Jones, and that's it.
And you just do one shot and you see it, because I think that's a good testing ground.
Yeah.
Is you put it on Disney Plus and you say, all right, here we go. Because you got to have that charisma. You got to, we just, like I mentioned that we did Amaru Moses' show, One's Got to Stay. And it was like the final, and I was the only person that put Indiana Jones as and again, I love Amaru, and I was so happy that he had us on, but it was literally called the Geek Tournament, right? You're not beating a superhero, you're not beating Batman, you're not even if you have the best case in the world, you're not beating them. And to me, it was like the superheroes, and I love
What
covering
are you
it.
talking about right now? He has a
show.
And
He has a show, and it's like a tournament that they did, like monthly.
he brings on
tournament.
guests to fight.
Yeah,
different
so we had a
things.
whole. It was like. I don't
like
want to.
Hal show.
I don't want to
tournament
say it
for the
was like a
nerds?
movie fights, but it was because there was no points
Okay.
awarded. But it's essentially kind of a debate show. You have your choices why you wanted it, and
When you say we were on, you and Brett.
me, Brett, Roca, Sam Levine.
Thanks for inviting Amaru.
And Ellis, right? And so we talked about all these characters, and I had originally had Batman as my number one.
No,
You
what's the
basically
question?
So you have 4 characters, and you get to one has to stay. You have to limit it, but you limit it in the order that you wanted to. They have to go. So my number 4 that I had to go was Spider-Man. Number 3 was Obi-Wan. Number 2 was Batman, and number 1 I kept was Indiana Jones, because I felt, and the reason I had Batman as number 1, and then I moved him because I said, as much as I think Batman is super important and a great character and probably one of the most complex on the entire list, with all the movies that you have coming out right now in superhero lore, right? You have so many DC characters, and you have a lot of dark characters, and essentially, the Iron Man character and a lot of those serves the purpose of what Batman is, and it's not as dark, obviously. And it would be, and I understand if anybody put him number 1, I get it. But Indiana Jones, as you were saying before, is a rare franchise that we just don't have anymore, and it's an adventure franchise, and he's a character that you haven't had, and you could replace, and you could continue on the same way you did a Bond or Batman. Batman's been done 1,000 times. Bond's been done 1,000 times. Indiana Jones only been played by one character, by one actor. So I would rather keep him around and watch what the future could be, as opposed to seeing another Batman movie. Spider-Man right now, there's the young event, like Roca and Amaru are going on and on about his most complex character. I'm like, guys, I love Spider-Man, but they're doing all these young Avengers stuff now. There's so many young kids now that are coming, Ms. Marvel, all this, that void it's filled. And then Obi-Wan, if you replaced him with Qui-Gon and just did a couple more, a couple rewrites, same character, essentially. So that's why I wanted to keep Harrison Ford.
I think it's fair. With that in mind, who do you feel like? Do you have any dream casting for a TV show?
Again, I think that Chris Pratt's overused. Bradley Cooper would be interesting. Still, I still think he's interesting.
So age-wise, you don't want to see a young Indy.
That's the major issue with Bradley Cooper, right? He's mid-40s at this point, so they're probably going to go with someone who's in their 20s. So I would say I would cast an unknown with somebody who's got the personality, somebody who has the charisma. Somebody
who is doing a young Harrison Ford, or somebody who's not doing a young Harrison Ford?
I think they won't do that. I think that I think that they should do something like that, to where you could have to it's not doing an impression of him, but it's again
Like paying homage to him almost.
yeah, it's
Still
but it's
grizzled, still
but
kind
paying
of.
attention to the character, and I'll debate John Hoey all day long. That was not Han Solo. Love Alden, think he was a great actor, and I think it was a good performance in Solo. Was not Harry. It was not Han Solo. That was not Han Solo. And that's what he was before he got. No. If you go back to a young Roxy Stryer at 12 years old, this version of you is in there. It's in there.
Yeah.
It's not something that just you had to discover a lot of them and mature as you got older and new things came out, but it's in there. That version of Han Solo was not in there in that character. It was a very different. It was just a different character. The swag wasn't there, and you need that. You need that swagger. You need that swagger.
So, but you want it to be. And I think I'm saying I want it to be. I don't want to see like the kid one. I want to see maybe he's
20s, mid-20s.
Yeah, but he's
River
he's
Phoenix.
studying to be in.
Remember what River Phoenix did in Last Crusade? River Phoenix really captured the essence of Indiana Jones in that beginning. Like, I believe that was young Indiana Jones.
Did you watch The Bear?
No, I haven't seen it. That kid?
Did you watch Shameless?
I did. I saw not
Jeremy
all of
Allen
it.
White is
Yeah,
a good-
the main kid.
I feel like he would be a good call.
Oh,
You like that?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, I feel like throw a rock and we would be able to find somebody. It's not like a crazy. But
I don't know.
It will be difficult, but I'm just saying it's not like you're trying to look for somebody that doesn't exist.
Right. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, Taron Egerton talked about how he went in. I thought Taron Egerton would have been a better choice to capture the Solo stuff because of that, because he's got that swagger. Now, I don't know what happened. He talked about it on Josh Harwood's show, how it went somewhere, and then he ultimately was like, I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
What has Alden done since?
He's got some stuff coming out. I don't know what it is in general, but like people have said, wouldn't you want to see him in a Solo series? No, I love the guy. I think he's a great actor. I just don't think he's Han Solo.
That's
I don't
super
think
duper not his fault. So it's
at
such a
all.
bummer.
Not his
Yeah.
fault at all. Mike said it on Sith Council a couple weeks ago. If you made that show, like Dash Rendar was a character in Star Wars canon.
You love Dash, right?
Oh God, one of my favorites.
Whatever. But it's similar kind of smuggler feeling. You just did, again, a couple of rewrites. You could have made that movie a standalone movie, not attached to it at all, and not put that pressure on him to try to carry the weight of Harrison Ford. Whoever is cast as Indiana Jones is going to carry the weight of Harrison Ford.
And
no
I
matter
think
what.
Roxy nailed it.
You like that guy from
Jeremy
the
Allen White. He's really good.
Oh, he's so good, and
Charismatic. He's got grit.
Yeah.
But he also has like major sex appeal, but in a different kind of way. Yeah.
yeah.
All right, so we spent a lot of time on that. I like that though, because that was that's something I'm pretty excited
We
for.
don't get to talk for the last Kristian. I've been doing shows with you for 8 years. How often do we talk about Indiana Jones?
I know.
It's
It's
like-
true. Well, now I love that we're talking about him.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Nobody talks about Indy anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah. And
there
I
he is.
love Indy.
He's the best. I'm so excited he's back. So somebody who's got gravitas and who has not only Dirk but Ryan Reynolds. And Reynolds is always now. Someone said, would you see him as Indiana Jones? No, I don't see him as Indiana Jones. But
Too silly.
he could play. He's done dramatic roles for sure. But I still think, again, it's a totally different conversation. So this is really hilarious.
What was the end of your sentence?
There's a totally different conversation with Ryan Reynolds playing Indiana Jones.
That was a real conversation?
What? No, just saying because we
That
brought
would
him
be.
up.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you meant he was actually in talks for that.
No. Ryan Reynolds offers Dragon's Lair update. Now, Roxy, before you saw that video game there, have you ever heard of Dragon's Lair?
No.
No, of course not.
No, in fact, I thought you were saying Dragon Slayer until
Everybody
right
does.
now.
Everybody does. But it's Dragon's Lair. And a little over 2 years ago came the news that Ryan Reynolds was in talks to both star in and produce a live-action featured adaptation of the classic 1983 arcade game Dragon's Lair
Classic.
for Netflix. Dan and what did I say?
No, I'm just going 83.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Dan and Kevin Hageman, the Lego movie Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, were tapped to write the script for the project, which took nearly a year of negotiations to come together. The original game boasted movie-style animation from Don Bluth and followed a knight named Dirk the Daring. You must be Dirk the Daring. I mean, because we heard that in the last 3 weeks. Kidnapped? Don't worry, lad, we'll get her back. Must rescue the fetching Princess Daphne from the clutches of the evil dragon known as Singe and the wizard Mordrock. Since the initial announcement, there have been no updates on the project until yesterday, as Collider spoke with Reynolds for his upcoming Apple TV film Spirited, and that talk turned to Dragon's Lair. And Reynolds says Netflix will do something unique about it. Uh-oh. I can say that Netflix has approached Dragon's Lair in a spirit of partnership that I've never really seen before. They're taking such a swing with it. How we're approaching it and attacking it and what we're doing with it, I think will be pretty surprising to a lot of people. In its scope, I mean. I'm not sure. But what happened? What happened?
It's just like when somebody says, do you like your dinner? And you're like, it's leafy and green and
I'm not
there's
sure.
salt in it.
I'm not sure, but I don't think anyone's ever tried tried it before quite like this. So I'm curious to see how it'll go. It really intersects in a unique way with technology that I've never been privy to in the entertainment industry. So they're taking some kind of pretty innovative stabs at this particular IP in a way that I'm blown away with, and I'm excited that they're along as I'm excited that they're as along for the ride as we are. Ryan Reynolds goes on to call the adaptation a living, breathing thing as opposed to just a piece of entertainment you watch. Okay.
It
Roy
could be
Lee.
dope,
I know.
but-
Roy Lee. Trevor Engelson. Trevor. That's my buddy. Roy Lee. I got
Gary Goldman.
I know, but
Gary Goldman.
Roy Lee, Trevor Engelson, Don Bluth, Gary Goldman, and John Pomeroy will also produce along Reynolds. I got to call Trevor then. So, all right, there's so much here. There's so much here because this is a game, as I said, a certain generation remembers. This will not be something that Roxy's going to care about in how true it stays to the form, right?
Is it your generation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Generation X game for sure because I've got the game here. I was very excited. Some people, when they see it, no idea what it is. Mike knew what it was. You knew what it was. People who've played it, I mean, I would love to watch you play it.
What's the premise?
So he's a knight and he's got to save this princess who was
The
kidnapped
Daphne
by
girl in the game.
yeah and so but it's what was so like kind of it was very different because in 1983 it's like you're playing a full on animated it's like a cartoon.
Yeah.
Graphics are
It's basically it was the first game that wasn't like a coded game. It was on a laser disc. And it was kind of like whatever choices you made, it jumped it to a different chapter in the Laserdisc. So
what was it on? Like what remote?
it was in like
an
an
arcade game like this.
console, but
But you had to put the Laserdisc in.
no, it was
No.
that was how it was run.
It was the
So-
first game every game back then was like a quarter. This game was like the first game that was like 50 cents.
And
It was a big thing, and it was in pizzerias everywhere in New York. It was everywhere, and I remember this place. My late great friend Brian Cascia was. We used to go to this little coffee shop, which was right near my place, just to play Dragon's Lair, and I'm curious of what Ryan Reynolds is talking about with the technology. If there's stuff maybe he dies a couple of times and he comes back.
Yes,
Probably what happens.
But will you go back to his quote for a second? The bottom half of the quote was a little interesting / confusing to me about him specifically mentioning that it's unlike. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, the living, breathing.
Yeah. I'm curious how it goes. Technology, unique way with technology that I've never been privy to in the entertainment industry. So they're taking. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
So they're taking some kind of pretty innovative stabs with this IP. What is innovative technology that Ryan Reynolds hasn't seen before?
I don't know. This could be something new. But,
Is it a choose your own adventure?
That's kind of what
a
that was
thing?
sounding
That's
to
what it
me
seemed
like.
like. I mean,
But
I'm gonna-
Netflix
let's
does
see.
things like that. But
Yeah.
maybe he just hasn't been privy to
He's
it.
Yo, period. We are talking about Dragon's Lair on my show right now, period. Are you available to answer any questions about it on the show? Question mark?
That's your friend?
Yes. And then you just said that's your friend.
Well, you were slow on the trigger on
Yeah, that's
that.
true. You're right.
But I also should know better.
Right guy, it's your boy Brett. Doing a little Dragon's Lair convo. Can you pop on for a quick hot minute?
All right, before we move on, we're going to get to Roxy's TV picks. I got to play Roxy this clip from the other day. So, Rox, this was from, and for people who didn't get a chance to see this, this was from Monday's episode. So, Roxy, I've been I was exhausted all day, and I was trying to get a show out at 9 in the morning. I couldn't do it. This was really during the height of like my wife was just out of commission. Had to take the kids. Had to do this. I had to take the dog to the vet. And I finally got down for like 2 seconds, and Brett's about to leave, and I go, "You gonna just hop on the show with me?" And we were delirious. And at one point I was talking about Runaway Bride. Have you seen it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So talking about Runaway Bride, but you remember?
Tell me you love it.
Yeah, it's not as good as Pretty Woman, obviously.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But we started talking about you know the character that I do, Richard, based off my friend in New York.
Yeah.
All right, so this is what happened. I want to just get Roxy's reaction to this. Let's go fuck in the bushes. Well, you don't do shows. Midway during, are we on the air? Yeah, I think so. You can beak it out.
So Runaway Bride.
Hey, so Runaway Bride with Julia Roberts is still a piece of ass. See this later. But Richard, that took place in '99. I don't give a shit. You seen it recently in that Clooney movie? Clooney. Holy shit. See that guy in a tuxedo? I got a hard on just thinking about it.
Silver fox.
Oh my God, the silver-haired fox. Let that guy sit on my face. Richard, take it easy.
Come on, it's
Richard.
a family show.
I'm just kidding. I let him hit me in the side here with his side pocket cock. What are you talking about, man? Good Lord, this is a kid's show.
Not asking for anything crazy. Just want him to slap me in the face.
Hey, nothing out of context.
I'm no weirdo.
What do you think I'm a fucking animal? Just let him play with my balls a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, Clones.
Come on, he's a Clooney. Facts of life with him and Joe and Blair. Unfucking believable. Even Mrs. Garrett got me all fucked up one time. Talk about bleaking.
See the caboose on Mrs. G?
Holy shit, you'd be there for a while. You watch a whole series on Netflix. Talk about dark. I'm getting in there, coming out. To teach you a thing or two about a thing or two.
I'll take the good and the bad.
Oh, holy shit, and you don't know what you had. Talk about beaking it out.
Beaking it out.
Holy shit. My last encounter with Mrs. Garrett, I've been limping around for 6 weeks.
Hey, you had your back broken up on Mrs. Garrett.
She took me, she was punishing me. I said, punish me, Mrs. Garrett, come on.
Come on.
Fuck me up.
I cheated on the math test.
On purpose. On purpose. I knew she would punish me. Slap me in the balls with a ruler.
Is she from Facts of Life?
Oh, my friends really jealous. They started failing fucking tests left and right.
She was the house
Strung up.
mother. Why is everybody failing?
She strung up my friend Jimmy because he failed. This guy was a straight A student.
Plucking his pubes out.
It's unbelievable. She was flicking him in the nutbag. Mrs. Garrett, you're a fucking animal.
Right.
Beaking it. See, he kept screwing up these news articles, and it was barely eked out something, and he's beaked. So then beak became like, I was beaking it out.
And I said I was beaking it out in the toilet.
What does Mrs. Garrett look like?
I can't wait to show you.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, let's see. I'm going to show the audience too, because not a lot of people knew
Mrs. G.
Yeah.
Girls.
Oh, I've seen. Yeah.
I'm going to show everybody Mrs. Garrett, so they knew kind of the whole context of that. If you didn't know, because there's tons of people who had no idea what the hell we were talking about with Mrs. Garrett. But like, I sent that to a couple of friends.
They loved it.
Oh, they were losing their mind.
As long as you make yourself laugh.
That's what my wife said the other day. Because I showed her, and she's like, "I'm convinced that you and Brett are building that out back there, just because you want a playhouse." That's Mrs. Garrett. Unbelievable.
She was the.
How accurate is that statement of hers?
It's pretty accurate. Yeah. She goes like, was anybody even listening to that show? And I was like, like 10, 12,000. I said, but she's like, would it have mattered if nobody listened? I said, absolutely not. No, at all. We were cracking each other up.
It was a nice end to kind of a
delirious
rough day.
Yeah. It was great. And
I'm so happy for you guys.
Yeah.
Really
My favorite, I would rather have a cold stare into them during, because, so good.
You'd rather what?
Rather have a cold stare into the camera the way that you were, not having any of the reaction, than someone just cracking up laughing at it hilariously.
Oh, I'm so happy that
Yeah, it worked out.
I didn't think it was cold. I cracked a smile. I was like,
Thanks. Which one do you like better, the Santa one?
Yeah.
You like the Santa one better.
Yeah. Well, I think that we have different senses of humor, and I respect yours.
Yeah.
But also I don't have balls, so I can't really think about like would be like to slap your
slapped
balls.
by
Yeah,
a
it
ruler?
could be funnier if I did.
And not knowing the show or Mrs. Garrett, that's huge.
Yeah.
Or the
that's true.
bleaker stuff, which I had no idea what.
Speaking of huge, Mrs. Garrett.
Oh, she
Could write a whole novel on her rear end. You remember that, Jimmy?
You guys are like glory days. Too.
Yeah.
Hey, Roxy, what'd you think of Mrs. Garrett with the little? She's a real minx, huh?
I thought she was cute. She had really pretty eyes.
You ain't kidding about it. You even see what those eyes can do.
She only like raw dog. Hey, you try to put a condom.
I said, Mrs. Garrett was supposed to be responsible over here. What are you doing to me?
She's like, I've already gone through menopause. You don't need to do this.
This is gonna be a real mess.
Oh, rest in peace. Is she dead? I don't know.
Maybe. Hey, you guys like Lord?
Do you think that color hair would look good on me?
Hold on a second. Let me tell you about Lord of the
Let's
Rings. Honestly, Lord of the Rings though is I finished it up. I told you guys about it, and I'm pumped about it because I didn't know if I was going to like the entire series. I wound up really liking the end of the series a lot. I thought they delivered well, and I'm excited for the rest of it for season 2. But where the hell is it? We have to wait. But the good news is you don't have to wait to really get into the. You really dive deep into Numenor and the mines of Khazad-dûm and more with the official The Lord of the Rings of Power podcast. Felicia Day and several special guests provide an inside look at the groundbreaking series and what it took to bring Middle-earth to life. Each episode of the official podcast features exclusive interviews with the series showrunners J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay, including the very first full breakdown of the incredible season finale. Felicia also goes behind the scenes with the cast and crew to bring you jaw-dropping stories and Easter eggs that you won't want to miss. Watch the Rings of Power on Prime Video and listen to all 8 episodes of the official The Lord of the Rings of Power podcast for free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app right now. That's from our friends over at WONDERY. Please go and check that out. It is a really good deep dive into Lord of the Rings. If you guys are missing it and waiting for season 2, it's a good way to kind of go back and check it out. But Roxy, what were you saying? You want Mrs. Garrett's hair?
I like Felicia Day a lot.
Oh, she's great.
She's fucking great.
great.
She came. I think once you were gone from Collider, she came.
She was on Collider.
And yeah, she was awesome. And I had read her book about like it was creativity, and it was kind of like a workbook.
That's why she came in, because I was gone.
She was.
Well, no, I text her. I'm like, I do this show forever, and you've come on when I'm
Oh, you
off
know
the
her?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did a show together.
I was on the Guild.
Oh yeah. She was like a doll.
Yeah,
I thought
she's
in
so
person she
sweet.
was one of my
Cool.
of all the guests. I thought that she was one of the most gracious, and she came in just like very cool.
Not Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I wouldn't say gracious.
I love that. Was one of my favorite.
Do you remember when he said, this is one of my favorite moments of any interview for me personally, when he said, I always, about his current wife, you had asked about it, and he was like, I just always knew it was her. And I was like, what happened with the 7 women that you married in between? And he was like, he goes silent and says, you got me. You got me on that one. Like, as if I was like pulling the wool over somebody's eyes. Yeah.
What a great interview that was.
Yeah.
It was so,
You should see my son's interview with Felicia Day
Oh yeah,
when he was 4 years
4
old.
years
No
old.
way.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We have to check that out.
That's awesome.
There are a lot of stories that we didn't get to today because we honestly went really kind of deep into Indiana Jones. I want to, before we end it, we have to get into Roxy's TV picks because it's been a very popular segment on the show, as it should be.
Yo, I feel like when we talked last week about people liking me,
Yeah.
I literally think it's because of this.
Because of the series,
Because
the
of the
segment.
TV thing. Yeah, because I have good taste in television.
You do. You do.
Like, my taste in movies can be
That's all right.
obscure and weird, whatever, or like in life, but I watch more TV than anybody. So
You have good recommendations.
I have value
You
to
do.
bring to
So
people
before, but I want to get. Let me see. Did you try Dark?
No.
No.
Because did you finish Severance?
Severance? You mean, I thought you were going to say The Patient.
No.
Oh, no. Severance, I haven't started.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Well, I want to finish.
I will watch
I want to
Dark.
finish Dark first.
You want to know why I didn't watch Dark?
Because you want to spite me?
No.
Oh,
Kind of, but not for why you think.
fine. Why?
Because I was about to start Dark, and Steph was like, oh, I watched the first episode. And I was like, oh, really? Random? Why? And she was like, because Kristian asked me to. And I was like, oh, so Kristian's asking everybody. It's not about me.
No, that's not true. Because
It's true.
No. Well, wait a minute. See, you don't know. See, you blew it. Because here's why.
You blew it, lady.
I'm telling you right now.
Mrs. Garrett blew it.
Yeah.
You ain't kidding. I'm gonna tell you. I've told all of you guys that if you start watching Dark right now, we're gonna do a live stream on the Kristian Harloff and Friends channel. And I want to have all the people who I'm going to try by like December 1st or 2nd, people who watch it to join the stream to talk about it, to have an open discussion. So the people who have watched it can come on and
So how did I blow it? So I'm right that it wasn't just about me. You didn't want me as your friend
I've
to
only
watch
told
it.
I told people that I would eventually want on the stream.
There's several.
Yeah. Okay. So what?
I
You were the
feel special.
first. You were on the show when I asked.
Not very special.
All right. Well, then I don't know what to tell you. It's a good show.
I'm going to watch it
Great. All right. Let's get it to your
in
stuff.
my own time.
Where are you?
Because I'm my own person.
Yeah.
All right, well, there you are. Let's
She
start with
wouldn't
this
even
one.
let me carry a bag from Gelson's.
Everyone's... Because I got it. It's one grocery bag.
All right, take it
Brett
easy.
made like a big deal of that. Okay.
I'm just like, oh, I'm sorry. I was just being helpful.
Every once in a while, I will click on a show on Netflix that I haven't heard anything about just to see how it is. And that's what happened with Blockbuster. I popped up on my Netflix as one of the top 10 of the week. And I was like, what is this? Randall Park's in it.
Yeah.
It's worth my time. Let's check it out. And I put it on, and it is a comedy about the last blockbuster on Earth.
Okay.
And it's cute. I binged the whole thing. It's a very easy watch. It's not reinventing the wheel by any means, but it was a cute, straight up comedy that, there's the like love triangle situation, and there's the different people who felt like they were going to do things that they deemed to be bigger than Blockbuster or less big, and a lot of it's very funny. And I was like, oh, okay, I think that this show is going to do decently well for them. So if you're just looking for an easy watch, this is a very quick, easy, straight up sitcom.
Netflix.
Yep, on Netflix.
All right.
I'm putting Dead to Me on this list, and I haven't talked about it yet because it is back November 17th, and this show is so effing good. It's insane. Christina Applegate and Linda Cardellini obviously star in this, and it is a show that takes many twists and turns, and I can't wait to see what happens this season. Initially, these two meet in a grief group for people who have lost their spouses, and it kind of like murder, mystery, comedy, things like that ensue. It's wild. It's really good. I hadn't heard people talking about it, and I started watching it a few episodes in. Now I think we're going into season 3, and it's definitely worth people's time. It's really, really good, and it's
Also
back.
Netflix.
Yeah, also Netflix. A lot of Netflix picks this week.
I agree. I've seen the first season. I didn't check out anymore, but incredible.
Why didn't you watch any more?
It's one of those ones where you forget about it because it takes so long to come
Well,
out.
now perfect time for you to catch up because you have a week until season 3. So why don't you binge season 2,
Let's
get
do
to
it.
season 3?
Right after I do Dark.
Love is Blind has taken the internet by storm. I have been watching this show since the first season. We just finished the 3rd season. Last night, or by the time you're watching this 2 nights ago, they dropped the finale and the reunion. I stayed up until 3 a.m. to watch both because that's how invested I am in these people's love stories. Do you know the premise of this show?
Not at all.
Okay, Love is Blind. You are in these pods by yourself.
Oh, I think I did.
And you're talking to men are talking to women are talking to men, and people get proposed to sight unseen after a week of really spending hours talking to these people.
Yes,
and by the end of the show, you have a wedding, and you either say yes or no. And every season, there's people who say yes. Every season, there's people who say no. Some people really manage to find true love. There's been, I think, 4 different successful couples from previous seasons. I think this show has a much better success rate than The Bachelor.
Wow.
It's wild to see.
It was only one season, right?
The 3rd season.
3rd season. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I'm sorry, what?
Bachelor has had a lot of couples.
Success rate. Not more people, but like of the people who stay together, there's
Yeah. All right.
a lot of people are really successful. because they fall in love with each other's souls.
Yeah. Are any of them complete slobs when they?
Yes. Several.
Are they?
No,
Do they stick around,
like
slobs?
Slobs more so like
Slobs.
lifestyle.
That's the
Like
original name of the show.
you'll go to their
Slobs.
apartment and it's like infested with bugs.
Oh,
and shit
no.
like that. Not slobs like appearance wise as much. All of them are little cuties, but
I would rather have a show called Slobs.
You know, I saw when I love this show, and then I saw that
on Slobs.
No, that's a good show too. Why don't we talk about that show?
Meet Gerald. Gerald has a pimple on his ass.
I saw Shannon Barney tweeting about this show. And then, okay.
Slobs. Go ahead.
The reason I ask is because I just
You
assume
ask what?
that if there's any slobs, is because I have a feeling everybody's super attractive.
Of course. We need someone to do a fucking poster of slobs.
Because it would be better if you fell in love with somebody, not necessarily a slob.
I would say, Brett, that you would not find some of the people attractive.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Shannon Barney was tweeting about this, so I was like, oh, interesting. Shannon watches this too. Then I saw Rachel Cushing tweeting about it, and I was like, oh, interesting. Rachel watches this too. Then I saw Andrew Guy tweeting about it, and I was like, oh, Andrew's watching this too, which means that if Shannon, Rachel, Andrew, and me are all watching it, we all have very different tastes. We're all like completely obsessed with this. I do think if you like dating shows, this is the top of the top dating show.
Wow.
All right. So coming this week.
No.
Slobs.
No,
It's
real. The Sex Lives of College Girls. Have you guys heard of this show?
Yes.
Okay, this is
Mindy
Mindy
Kaling,
Kaling produced show.
Yeah.
Actually, Timothy Chalamet's sister is the one second to the left. And it is a show that if you are in college, you will really enjoy this. Even if you're not, you might. It's kind of like a younger version of Girls. It's raunchy. It's on HBO Max. Its second season is coming November 17th as well. So it just gives you time to catch up for the first one.
So that was inaccurate. That's for season 1, that poster, huh?
Yeah, you've pulled inaccurate posters for every single show,
I think I love that.
which is absolutely fine.
I think I like that. Okay. Now this one I know.
The Crown dropped last night, and I stayed up additionally to watch the first episode of this. We're on season 5, and I do think that while I didn't love, I think it was like season 3 of The Crown, it kind of fell off for me. Last season was excellent, and now with the Queen, the actual Queen in real life, dying, I think that The Crown this season is just like hitting a little different.
Spoiler alert.
And you guys are making it so easy to get through this today. The Crown is the pilot episode, not the pilot episode. The first episode of season 5 was excellent last night that I watched.
Yeah.
It was really good, and it does feel a little different because they're right now this season they're dealing with the Queen and the people, the papers wanting to oust her, and it's kind of like weird looking back to think about it all. I think
A lot of pushback from the monarchy on this season.
yeah,
I
but
saw
there's
that.
also a lot of pushback from people on monarchy. So you know.
Totally, but I'm just saying, as more so than at any of the seasons I saw,
They
that Tony
always push
Blair's
back.
coming out, and like a lot of people, not even necessarily the monarchy, but people just saying how rubbish it was and how like it's not accurate.
It's a controversial show for sure. One of my least favorite movies of last year was Spencer. Did you guys watch it?
I did. I started it. I couldn't get into it.
I thought it was people loved it.
Yeah, people loved it.
I couldn't. I had a really hard time
Was
with
it
that
her
movie.
performance?
No, her performance is
Great.
great. Yeah. Excellent performance.
Yeah, just the movie was
Nothing to do
dull.
with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
not dull. Just like a woman's descent into madness, and like I don't think it's accurate, and I thought that it was like very upsetting, and we didn't need to watch what they showed us. It was just like I didn't prefer
didn't like it.
the choices that were made. I much prefer The Crown and the depiction of Princess Di in The Crown, and she's the one that I like the most. So
Who is that? Is that anybody we know, or is
yes,
that because it looks-
the Queen.
no,
the
you're talking about
guy-
Emma Corrin, but I don't know this season. Let's see.
she looks like?
I just went through this yesterday. Dominic Shoot from The Wire and
Oh yeah,
West. Dominic
Yeah.
West. Dominic West playing Prince
oh
Charles.
Elizabeth
though.
Debicki. Sorry,
Oh,
that's
is that
who it is
Elizabeth
now.
Debicki?
Yeah.
Okay. So Dominic
was
West
Elizabeth
playing
Corrin last
Prince Charles. Prince Charles better thank his lucky stars that's who they cast.
Yeah, 100%.
Dominic West is a good-looking
It
guy.
actually was a little distracting in this first episode.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy.
Yeah, and it's so hard because, seemingly the dude's a little bit of a prick, but he's so charismatic that I'm like,
Yeah, he really is.
I'd stay
That's
too.
what the whole thing with him in the affair. He was such a douche, but he was just such a charming guy. He understood it. All right, last one. We're back.
Yeah, I brought this back because I told you guys I would finish it and tell you guys if it's worth your time. I did finish it. I do believe it's worth your time. I think that if you like Mayor of Easttown or if you like True Detective, this is in the same realm. It's just not as good as either of those, but still good.
And it's got Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield is fantastic in it, and it does, as opposed to those shows, this does have like a lot more religious mystery to it. We're dealing with the Church of Latter-day Saints. It is a true story or based on a true story about the murder of a woman and her child. So again, true crime fans, this is like a big, big watch for you this year. And he is so good in it that it almost puts it as a step above some of the other shows.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, here's my plan. This is my plan. I'm going to finish Dark. I'm on the final season, and I'm on like episode 4. I think there's 8 total. So then I'm going to try Severance one more time.
You have to give it, you can't give it less than 6 episodes.
I got to go past the hallway scene in episode 1.
Like the show, you have to make it through the whole first season, Kristian.
Right.
It's the best season 1 finale of any show of the decade.
I don't know about that. I didn't see it though, so
good.
I can't
Yeah,
speak
it's
on
really
it.
fucking good.
All right.
I think
You think I'll like it?
I don't think it's slow at all. Do you find it slow?
no,
The
but
first
some
season,
people do.
Walking down the hallway? How long is he going to walk down that hallway?
Well,
It's first episode, it's not even first season.
I know.
You made it like 12 minutes into the show. I think you are gonna fucking love it.
All right, fine.
Because it's so up your alley in terms of like it's so thought provoking and you like it. You don't know what's happening, and you like all of it. It reminds me of a Damon Lindelof show.
All right.
That's why I didn't find it slow, because it is so thought provoking. Because the moments that are slow let you go like,
so maybe
what is going on here?
So what you're saying is I'm just being difficult.
Yeah.
Brett said it pretty quick.
No.
Thank you, Roxy.
I think you're wonderful.
Will you show everybody your shirt, please?
It actually is super comfortable.
Is it?
I always like to get my sweatshirts a little oversized because fashion.
Yeah, show a little. Will you show some class, everybody? It looks
This
good
is,
on you.
This is like my new way that I style things. Okay, for you chicas out there who are like, how do I get one of these without looking like I'm a schlub? Although maybe you
Or
think
slob.
I do. Yeah, or a slob. So I get it in a medium. I love a crew neck in a medium. And then I wear some kind of either like cool leggings or I have shiny leather leggings or these. And then recently I've been this is my fashion tutorial. I've been putting on these socks that I scrunch up and then, well, the bottom of my Nikes are dirty. And then with my Nikes. So if you're looking to make them look cool, this is like my cozy girl fashion. Come on, tell me it looks good.
I love it.
This is good.
Can you
it's a
show
good way
me
to do
show
it.
me the shoe again? Show me the shoe again.
yeah.
Come on, show me the shoe. Let me see it. Hold on.
Good
Wait,
shoes.
hold it.
Are these not? These aren't. What do you call those things that
Leg
ballerinas
warmers.
leg warmers?
No, they're not. These are
But
socks.
if you want, listen, if you like that shirt, it's a great shirt that Roxy's got on, and I have this one on.
This is sick, Kristian.
It's a good one, right?
Really
Established
good.
2014. That's the original. And
Is it available now?
that's available now. And all you got to do is you go to TeePublic. The link is in the description. You can get yourself any one of these shirts. You can get yourself one of those sweatshirts.
Not
You can get a hoodie.
anyone. I don't like the fact that Sith is beating us. So
It is right now.
really, you have to only get the big thing. If you're watching the show and you get Sith over the big thing, you're dead to me.
Okay, that's fair. All right, listen. We had a
Like the
good
show.
show here. So we all decided one and one thing only. I am calling my friend to make sure that we can get slobs on the air.
Yo, my guy.
Yes, that's my buddy who produced Dragon's Lair. I'm trying again. Let's see. Just walking. Okay, we will do it soon. So we'll do it soon. I'll try to get Trevor on here. But anyway, listen to me. This was a fun show. I'm excited that you guys are excited. If you have watched, we didn't get a chance to really get into Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. That comes out. We'll be talking about it pretty heavily on Capes and Cowls tomorrow, so check that out. I have my review up, my non-spoiler review. I have the spoiler review coming out this week. We'll be doing a spoiler discussion on Monday, so a lot there. If you want to check out the Fabelmans review, is there an embargo on that yet? No embargo. So Brett's review will probably be up soon for that one, so make sure you check that out. It's out of the theaters up there now. And that's it, man. And by the way, one of the things that Roxy always asks that I'd like to see, as I mentioned before with like Trade Coffee, if you're watching some of the shows that Roxy suggested, let us know which ones and what you thought of them. So put those in the comments because she looks, she watches, and then that's it.
Oh, I respond to those comments. I'm like a hawk in there.
You really do. You do it well, though. Koi likes to, the way Koi responds to comments is a guy who's like going into a bar looking for a fight.
If people mess with me, I'll be like, that wasn't very nice, or you're a peach or whatever.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I
nice
really try
lately.
to respond to the people who say kind things so that I like encourage that.
Yeah, and it's been nice in there lately, too.
Yeah, because you're doing a good job taking out the trash.
I'm telling you, a lot of it, but I have not been, I haven't been able to get to a few of them, and they've been really awesome. So anyway, make sure you
93%.
click the like button, put a comment in there. If you haven't joined Patreon, got a lot of great stuff going on Patreon, patreon.com/thebigthingshow. We have exclusive Q&As. I have one-on-one sessions I do with people. A lot. Rewatches, so many things. Brett and Kate, SEN Live, so many things that you guys please go and check out over there. All right. Thank you guys very much. We appreciate you. We'll see you on the flip side. Go check out Slobs.